that at hinge support VE that is equal to positive 21.67, so our assumed direction is right. Similarly for RA it is positive, so our assumed direction is right, and over here we have got HE and VE, but HE value is 0, so directly we can say that the resultant for VE that is equal to nothing but 21.67 kilonewtons. So this is the second problem related to gradually varying load. Now the third problem which I am going to take is, it is very important and it will be considering a load that is called as a bracket load. Now what do you mean by the term bracket load? We have already studied in our first lecture what is a bracket load, but we will refresh again what is a bracket load. Basically bracket load is a load in which the load is not coming directly on the beam, and whenever there is a bracket load, two types of forces will be produced. One force will be a moment or a couple, and second will be a load. For example, suppose if this is a beam and on this particular beam we have got a loading like this, right. Now this particular force P, and this is horizontal distance D and this is vertical distance Y. Now you can see over here that this force is not directly acting on our beam, right. That means it is indirectly acting. So when it is acting on this particular beam, it will try to produce two things. One will be a moment. So we know what is moment. Moment is force into perpendicular distance. My force is vertical, so the perpendicular distance will be horizontal. So we will take it as P into D. That will be moment which will act at our point A, and second will be a force of intensity P. So at this particular point I can show in my free body diagram that there will be one force, that is vertical force P, and second is a couple because it is rotating in clockwise direction. So a clockwise couple of intensity P into D. So whenever we have got a bracket load, the force is converted into a couple as well as vertical force. Okay. So now we are going to take a problem based on this particular bracket load. To start with, we will take a overhanging beam. Suppose we have got a overhanging beam of span 5 meters. One support is a hinge support and second support is a roller support, right. On this particular beam we have got one UDL and one bracket load. So suppose bracket load, we will have one inclined force acting over here, inclined force of intensity 10 kilonewtons, and the inclination of this force with respect to horizontal is 60 degree. Okay. This is 1 meter distance, or we can say it as 0.5, and this distance we can take it as 0.5, vertical as well as horizontal, right. And over here we have got one point load of intensity 5 kilonewtons, right, and we can assume the intensity of UDL as 15 kilonewtons per meter. So to start with, first of all we will name, so this is A, B, C, then this point as D and E. The distance between D and E, that is 1 meter. The distance between D and C, that is 0.5 meters. Then distance between B and C, that is 1 meter, and distance between A and B we take it as 1 meter. Okay. So sorry, there is some proportion for 1 meter here, it is taken less, but anyways, to start with, first is we have to draw a free body diagram. So to draw a free body diagram, we will take all the points in the downward direction. So downward direction will take A, B, C, D and E points. We will draw one horizontal line. So one horizontal line is drawn. To start with, first is 5 kilonewton vertical force, no need to change. We can write down over here 5 kilonewtons at a distance of 1 meter. We come to support D. Support D is a roller support. So, there will be one vertical reaction, that is Vd. Then we have to come to the next support, that is support C, not support, point C. Now, you can see that at point C there is a bracket load. So, that particular bracket load is to be converted. I will show it separately. Suppose this is our point C, right. Over here this distance is 0.5 and this distance is 0.5, and inclined load is acting over here. The intensity of the inclined load is 10 kilonewtons and it is inclined at an angle of 60 degree. So, my first step will be to resolve the inclined force into two components, that is horizontal component and vertical component. So, horizontal component will be as force is inclined at an angle of 60 degree with horizontal axis. So, horizontal component will be 10 cos 60 and the vertical component will be 10 sin 60. Now, you can see that over here we will have moment or a couple moment, right. We will have a couple moment at point C. So, at point C. Now, we can see that first force is my horizontal force. So, 10 cos 60, that is horizontal. So, it will act over here. So, what is the perpendicular distance? That is this much. So, 10 cos 60 into 0.5. How will it rotate? It will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So, it will be taken as minus. Second is my 10 sin 60. 10 sin 60 will act over here, right. So, 10 sin 60, it is vertical. So, when it is vertical, what will be the perpendicular distance? Horizontal, and that is equal to how much? 0.5. How will it rotate? So, it will rotate in our clockwise direction. So, it will be taken as plus. So, algebraic summation of this both will give us the resultant couple which will act at point C, and that is equal to 10 cos 60, that is equal to 5 into 0.5 plus 8.66 into 0.5. So, that will give you that will give you 1.83 kilonewton meters and positive. So, it will be in clockwise direction. So, now I can show over here that at point C there is a clockwise couple of intensity 1.83 kilonewton meters, okay, and force. So, how many force will be there? Two force. One will be 10 cos 60. So, we can show over here 10 cos 60 in the horizontal direction. So, 10 cos 60 over here, and 10 cos 60 is nothing but 5. So, 5 kilonewton force over here, and another is 10 sin 60 in the downward direction. So, we can show over here 10 sin 60 and 10 sin 60 value will be equal to 8.66. So, 8.66 kilonewtons. So, I repeat again, because of bracket load we will have one couple moment and force. As the force is inclined, so we have got two components, one in the horizontal direction and one in the vertical direction. So, horizontal component 5, vertical component 8.66 and net couple moment of intensity 1.83 kilonewton meters. Then we come to our point B. So, at point B we have got a UDL. So, this distance I will specify, this distance is 0.5 meters, then this distance is 1 meter, again 1 meter we have got a UDL acting. Now this UDL is to be converted in terms of a point load. So we know UDL means what? Uniformly distributed load. That is, per meter length, load is distributed equally or uniformly. So that is called as a uniformly distributed load. Now if I want to convert this uniformly distributed load in terms of a concentrated load or a point load, then we can find out by multiplying the intensity with respect to the distance in which it is acting. So it is acting for a distance of 1 meter. So meter will get cancelled out. You will get a 15 kilonewton concentrated load. Now this concentrated load, it will act at the center. So what will be the center for 1 meter? So center for 1 meter, that will be equal to 0.5. So from point B we will move 0.5 and show a concentrated load of intensity 15 kilonewtons, and again 0.5 left out. So we come to our point A. Now at point A we have got which type of support? At point A we have got a hinge support. So there will be two reactions. One will be vertical reaction, that is VA, and second will be horizontal reaction, that is HA. Mind you, we are assuming the directions of the reactions. If the negative answer is there, our assumed direction will be wrong, and we have to just change the direction of the reactions. So our second step, that is to draw a free body diagram, is over. Now what we have to do? We have to apply our conditions of equilibrium. Now to apply the conditions of equilibrium, so this particular diagram is called as your free body diagram. Now to start with, we will apply our conditions of equilibrium. What is our first condition of equilibrium? Sigma h is equal to 0. To start with, HA is moving towards positive x-axis, so it will be plus HA. Then 5 is moving towards negative x-axis, so that will be equal to minus 5. There is no other horizontal force acting, so that is equal to 0. So HA, that is equal to 5 kilonewtons. Then we come to our second condition, that is sigma V is equal to 0. So second condition, that is sigma V is equal to 0. What is our sign convention? If the force is acting in the vertical upward direction, positive. If the force is acting in the vertical downward direction, it will be taken as negative. So to start with, first is 5 kilonewton in the downward direction, minus 5. Second is VD in the upward direction, positive. Third is 8.66 in the downward direction, negative. Fourth is 15 in the downward direction, negative. And fifth is VA in the upward direction, positive. That is equal to 0. So VA plus VD, that is equal to minus 5, then 8.66, then 15. So that gives you 28.66 kilonewtons. This is your equation 1. Now we have to apply our third condition of equilibrium, and that third condition of equilibrium is sigma moment is equal to 0, right. Now when we are talking about sigma moment is equal to 0, we have to take moment about either support D or support A or support E. Anywhere we can take the moment and equate it to 0. So to start with, suppose we take moment about support A. So moment about support A. We start with first 5 kilonewton. So we are taking moment at this point. So we have to consider the distance between the line of action of the force and the point where we are taking the moment. So the first is 5 kilonewton. So what is the distance? 1, 0.5, 1 and 1. So how much distance it is? 1, 2, 3 and 3.5. So 5 into 3.5 in the clockwise direction. So clockwise is taken as positive. Then second is VD. So VD into what is the perpendicular distance up to point A. So up to point A the perpendicular distance is 1, 2 and 2.5. So VD into 2.5. It is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, so minus. Third is couple. For couple we have to put directly the value, no need to multiply the distance and see whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. If it is anti-clockwise you have to take minus, if it is clockwise you have to put plus. So to start with, the couple is of value 1.83 in the clockwise, so directly put the value 1.83. Then fourth is 8.66 force. So this is the line of action of the force, and what is the distance? So 1, 0.5 and 0.5. So that is equal to how much? 2. So 8.66 into 2. Again it is in the clockwise direction, so it will be positive. Then we have got 5 kilonewton. 5 kilonewton will produce moment? No, because it is coinciding with the point where the moment is taken. Is there any distance to produce moment? No, there is no vertical distance, because if the force is horizontal, perpendicular distance will be vertical. So there is no vertical distance, so 5 kilonewton is not going to produce any moment. Then we come to the next, that is 15 kilonewtons. So 15 kilonewtons into what is the perpendicular distance? 0.5, and it is also rotating in the clockwise direction, so positive, and that is equal to 0. So from this particular equation we can get the value of VD. So what is the value of VD? We can calculate. So 5 into 3.5, then plus 1.83 plus 8.66 into 2 plus 7.5. So that gives you 44.15 divided by 2.5. So 44.1.5 divided by 2.5, that gives you 17.66 kilonewtons. So we have got the first answer, that is vertical reaction VD, that is equal to 17.66. Now to find out the value of VA, I can substitute in my equation number 1. So substitute VD in equation 1.